These humble beginnings, man, you know what I'm saying. First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving, you guys. If you're not from the States, Thanksgiving is when we celebrate our pilgrimage here in the United States. It's kind of a distorted history, but a lot of people would like to just keep that tradition here, all right? Yeah, the truth of how we got here may be like distorted big, but that's another topic for another time or another channel, because I'm not going to talk about this. But there's a lot of things that everybody should just be thankful for in the world. Now, on November 22nd of 2008, I became... and that was one of the best days of my entire life, not because I became this, but at that very moment, I also became a graphic designer. And I actually went home that next morning and picked up Photoshop, downloaded it on my computer, and just started going to work. And I created this very crazy looking graphic, but I was really happy about it. So on today, what we're gonna do is just look at some of my old t-shirt work. Now I did this portfolio review last year, but I wanna look at some of my t-shirt work from when I got this computer. I know I deleted a whole lot of different stuff, but on this computer is still some stuff that I've been working on. So I wanna just check it out. And just coming into this already, it's just some straight up copyright stolen images from like 2015. The straight out of Kami house. Now I did composite this layout, you know what I'm saying? This was something that I put together on my own. But man, and this was like, I believe this was like Teespring or Zazzle. I uploaded it to like Teespring or Zazzle and they immediately took it down, you know what I'm saying? Now this was something that I wanted for myself, like this was some exclusive stuff, you know what I'm saying? Right when Straight Outta Compton was over, I went ahead and made this. And almost immediately, they send me a email saying, bro, you copyright, we gotta take this stuff down. Which is why I was so critical about those Dragon Ball Z shirts that people were selling on Facebook, and I was talking about that in this video right here. I was so critical about it because the exact same thing happened with me. I had maybe like 100 buyers, you know what I'm saying? I never got the money, but it was like 100 buyers. Yet I had to refund them all their money because this was copyright. So you live and you learn, you know what I'm saying? It was just something that happened. But one day I'll show you guys how to make like this graphic. It wasn't that hard to do. I was a Photoshop artist back then. That's when I like started really taking stuff from off the internet and putting it on t-shirts and stuff like that. Mistakes of my life, but this was something that you guys can definitely learn a whole lot of stuff from, like masking and using Photoshop effects and all that. And then not only that, like the layout as well. Like I put like this background together. It was a lot of cool stuff going on way back when I made this. Honestly, I thought I was gonna be a millionaire. I'm just gonna keep it real. Then I turned around and used that same template to make this Smoozy. So Smoozy was a social media kind of like conversational group. So one of my friends who was like one of my business partners, yet kind of like my mentor, we had a little conversation. She wanted to start her business up called Smoozy, which was like a social media like advertising group that you guys can get into and all that. What she wanted to do was create like a branding and all that stuff, and then she wanted to make like a t-shirt to go along with it. So I made the logo. I put it all on this. We approved it. She said, this looks pretty good. And you know what really won her over was the fact that I put it on a t-shirt, and she was like, I really like that presentation. Even though I didn't use this mock-up that well, I actually didn't use it the right way. As you can see, like some of the shadows aren't on top of it. I just slapped the logo on top of it and then called it a day. She was really impressed with what I came up with, and that was like my first time getting like $500 for a logo. Wow, you know? Say it loud. This was the design that inspired this design right here. I don't think I got good at Illustrator until like mid 2015. So from the time I started in 2008 up until like 2015, I just didn't use Illustrator. I was just only using Photoshop. And as you can see, there's like a little gradient on the side and all that stuff. Like it just did not look that well. Though I do like the mock-ups though, like that color purple, that color turquoise and green. Like that really does look good. And it's only for women. And to keep it 100 with you guys, this started Smiley Tees. And it wasn't even in Smiley Tees. It was just something that inspired me to go. Like the moment I made it, it was like in my mind, something went, and I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this. So I started putting together my logo for Smiley Tees. And this logo has now since been rebranded into Smiley Outfitters. This is the very first bones of what I created. And as you guys can see, it has some flaws. I'm not sure if you guys can see the flaws, but it definitely has some nice flaws in it. I love the smile, like that anime smile, which is definitely a precursor for like the anime like logo that I created today. These lines right here, these jagged edges, definitely started some nice stuff. And like, just to keep it real, I like the rising sun kind of like logo I created. It didn't have the rising sun in the back. That would have been really cool. But this definitely started off my journey as a t-shirtpreneur, and I definitely grew into this one. As a matter of fact, I made a logo for it for a t-shirt. I don't see that t-shirt anymore. It just kind of disappeared on me, but I loved what I was doing. As you can tell, the smile for this one doesn't match the smile that I came out with, which was for the t-shirt. But after I made this, which says Smiley, which is funny, it says Smiley T's Wave 1. After I made this, I actually created like a bunch more that could be used on t-shirts, which I never used on, you know? So I have this guy with the dreads, which I thought was really creative at the time, but now that I look at it, it's kind of like hurting my heart, you know what I'm saying? And I had the guy with just regular hair. I had the nerd guy, I remember this. I was a nice photographer, and I made this camera down here on my old YouTube channel. It was in a speed art. And oh, this is what I used to look like. I used to have like a very bald head and a beard. So this one was actually more like me than any other. Well, I guess this one and this one with the hat that I really liked over here. I really like this one and the mohawk or the frohawk, whatever you want to call it. I used to love these two. The Son Goku one, which was kind of like me tapping into parodies and stuff like that, I really didn't like it that much. As a matter of fact, I scrapped it in this version of the wave. I remember this. I scrapped it because I just didn't want that to be out there that, you know, I might be into copyright and stuff like that. So I left it alone. But I created like a hipster and a hipster with no beard and stuff like that. Video game nerd, you know, and then I don't even know what this is, like a music player? I don't know, I can't remember. At this point, when I made this one, I turned around and made the woman version. And when I made the woman, I was like, I can't do anything with this because it just doesn't work, you know? Like, oh man, these humble beginnings, man, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, then after that, I made like this sweatshirt right here and this sweatshirt. And then I made like, oh my God, this promotion. I remember making this and I was like, I love what I'm doing, but the styles don't match. The fonts are really cool, but the shirts and the font just does not work. Like the messaging for the shirt versus the messaging for the style of the font just didn't fit, you know? I will be going back to making more of these type stuff, but a lot of stuff that I'm doing here, I'm still doing now. Like the flooring, the glass flooring and stuff like that, I'm still doing that. I can still see some faults like the arm and the shadow just did not match up. I think I drew in some of this stuff over here as well. Look at that, November 2nd to like the 8th, 2015. And then this was a Spreadshirt shop, you know. I took that shop down, but you might still be able to find some of those remnants down there, you know. This was when I was experimenting with Spreadshirt and Zazzle. So I was trying to use Zazzle, but they didn't offer like discount codes. So I started using Spreadshirt. And they gave you 20% off as an early bird kind of like promotion. So you guys want to get into that. So this one right here was a logo project that I did for like a friend. And if you guys are a graphic designer, definitely start looking into that. Putting like your logo projects on t-shirts and other apparels and stuff like that really looks good. So I'm gonna show you guys what happened. I took this logo right here and I went in and redrew it on Illustrator. So this was like my very first time redoing stuff on Illustrator, okay? I redrew it on Illustrator and this is what I got. The textures are off it. It looks really good, right? And to showcase this, I put it on a hoodie or whatnot, and the hoodie looked really nice. Like it has the texture on the hoodie and stuff like that. Man, I was amazing with that stuff. Now, admittedly, I didn't make this hoodie, okay? I didn't make the textures on this hoodie. I didn't know how to do mock-ups at the time, okay? Yes, Robert wasn't the mock guy at the time. So now that I am, I could probably go back and redo this, but this was something I didn't know how to do back then. Here's a picture of Smiley T actually being worn on somebody. So this was the person that actually I did the redesign for their logo on. This person and this person is the exact same person, right? Now to get in a little bit more of like some sensitive stuff. So I had a frat brother in 2015. He was murdered, all right? Not to be graphic, but he got into a mix-up and that actually it took his life. So our fraternity brothers came together and said for Spring Fest, which is like a festival that happens in the spring, okay? It's nothing big, but if you go to like an HBCU, this is when like a bunch of kings come to Link University and we pretty much do like a royal court kind of like competition to see who has the best king in royal court, right? But as a remembrance to this fraternal brother that we had, we wanted to make like a hoodie that we could wear during that time. And we put his crossing line number on the back and our chapter and stuff on the sides. And of course, Go Mob. This time we wanted to use the red BX, which we used to get in trouble for so much back then. Secrets, man. We can't talk about it. But yeah, this right here is like giving me some straight, emotions, because I remember making this and I was just like, man, so sad that he was gone so quick. So this one right here was my very first illustration for Illustrator ever, okay? And I did it for Gamma Eta of my fraternity and whatnot. This is the St. Louis chapter of Phi Beta Sigma. I did this one for them, but because they didn't pay me, I ended up keeping it for myself. So I created this one right here, which has textures and stuff all over it. Man, selling like hotcakes. I actually might redo this. I actually might upload this, so if there's any frat brothers, matter of fact, this is going up for Throwback Thursday. I think I really need to go ahead and remake this one. I really liked what was going on here. I will take out the Sigma because there's no reason to have this Sigma anywhere on this. If you have Mob on them, like, you don't need the Sigma. It was such a simpler time and I got so much better. I really like this one. So I had this one on black. It was another one I did on white. And here was the results of that. So it was a t-shirt. It was an all over print on Zazzle. One person came in on live and said, where we get some all over prints? I said, I used to get them off of Zazzle, but now we get them from Printify and Printful. So Printify and Printful has them. But the guy who was doing it on Zazzle, revolutionary. He left. I don't know where he went. I can't find him. But we ended up getting this and I was selling it like hotcakes until, I just couldn't sell it anymore. I probably still got it up. I could probably look around and see if it's still up there. But if you type in Mob on them, you might find this. And then look, here's the drawing for it. And then look, here's the Mob on them. It's crazy how like you just evolve and become better as time goes on. So this lion right here doesn't look like much until you look at like this image right here. Right? And I made this image because I saw this off of Zazzle. So this is like a comparison and contrast. This was one of like my first tutorials that I did on like my old channel. I actually will be doing a Throwback Thursday where I look at this video just to see how well it holds up. I know it's gonna bug me because I wasn't the best tutorial. I'm still not the best tutorial channel, but I wasn't the best tutorial channel back then. I think maybe the colors are kind of off. I used an Avengers hat and not like a regular skull hat because I couldn't find one. And then on top of that, like the nose should have been white, but I'm just nitpicking now. This is a nice side by side. I like how I did that, right? Oh man, all right, so this is my second illustration I did. So check this out. This is the Hotline Bling, right? Here's a cutout that I did. Like I just went around and traced them. Like this is how I learned the pen tool, you guys. I went around and I traced them, and then I put it on this actual cell phone, right? Now, here's the big thing, right? I took that cell phone, threw it on a t-shirt. I know when the hotline blinks, it can only mean one thing. Dog, this memory lane stuff is really killing me. It's starting to get, like, really emotional. Man, and from this point, there's a lot of stuff from, like, Smile Nation and Smiley Tees. There's a lot of things that, like, created Smiley Outfitters that I'm just going to skip past because I'm going to actually do a video on this one. If I get enough likes, or if you guys express to me in the comment section what you feel about me actually doing that video, I'll actually put that video out. There's a whole lot of stuff here from, like, Smile Nation. Like, the development and evolution of Smiley Outfitters is like right here, and it's so crazy just looking at it. It's just really making me emotional on this stuff. Like, I can't talk about it right now because this can be a whole video in its own. Now here's some like t-shirt art that I created for like a friend of mine. Now he's in Kappa Alpha Psi, and I thought this was really cool that he wanted me to do this. But now I took all of these elements, right, and I created like this t-shirt art right here, and I really thought I was doing something. I promise you I did. It was like bloodlines coming from the top of this and, all over. Yeah, it don't look like much right now, but then, I threw it in red just to see how I like it, and, I was just kind of developing it out. This is pre-2017, you guys. Like I told you guys, I just got good, okay? But I took everything, right? I put it together. I created like this little presentation, and then I put it on this hoodie. Now, this hoodie right here, I can't find it. I've been looking for it. I might have to remake it, you know what I'm saying? But I put it on this hoodie right here, presented it to him. He went nuts, right? He was like, bruh, can you make it look real? And you guys already know that's my little catchphrase, right? I make it look real, right? So I did. I put it on a mock-up. This was my very first mock-up. And I put like everything in, you know what I'm saying? Like the background. I just sold this design like this. Like he looked at this. He was just like, bruh, you are the best. You're going to be a millionaire one day. I'm going to be there to support you when you do. And I was like, yes, I will be one day. I'm working on it. But the moment I did this one right here is when I knew that I was going to start doing client work as far as like graphic design, t-shirts and stuff goes. So, but I put this one together for him. He was like the client that actually launched me into like doing graphic tees and stuff like that. So I loved what I did here. But you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here. And the reason why is because I'm going back into like the beginning of my channel. And I know you guys can go check some of that stuff out because it's at the beginning of my channel. This one right here is from T-Shirt Saturdays. I don't even do T-Shirt Saturdays anymore. I moved it to T-Shirt Tuesdays. But this, what is this? This was a parody from that song from the Migos. Raindrop, drop top, smoking on cooking on hot box. Cook it. And you know what? I'm thinking about just selling this one because it looks really nice. Like, look at that. All of this was done in Illustrator, even like the smoke art. And I haven't did that in so long. Like I haven't did actual text art in a while. I don't know. But you guys, thank you for hanging out with me on Thanksgiving. I hope you guys ate a whole lot of turkey today. And if you guys don't eat turkey like me, hope you guys eat a whole lot of fish. And if you're not even eating fish, I hope you guys do what you do on Thanksgiving. And if you're not in America, then I hope you guys have a very amazing day because today is about being thankful for the stuff that you have. And I went back and I wanted to show you guys how thankful I am for the talents and the stuff that I have been going through since I started as a graphic designer. You guys know that graphic design is not an easy subject to get into. There's a lot of pains to go along with it. People telling you no. People telling you no in the rudest of ways. People not calling you back. People not paying you money. People saying that your prices are way too high. You don't just get a graphic design job. You actually have to have a portfolio. You have to take the baby steps and learn it all. People think that you're just an artist and you're not an artist. And the list just goes on and on and on, and you'll just figure out that the people who have been doing it for 10 plus years should be appreciated the most because the stress that comes along with being a graphic designer is just overbearing. And I'm just thankful that I haven't lost my mind doing this stuff because I know for a fact that I had some really hard times as a graphic designer. You guys kind of heard a little bit of that in my live stream that I did just this last weekend. I can do story times based off some of the stuff that I did. And just looking at my very first t-shirt design, the Kami House one, and I was just so happy to get it done. But then I couldn't even like get it on a t-shirt. I couldn't actually like sell it, even though I had like 100 people like interested. That was like one of my first pains as a t-shirt designer. And then just thinking about what I did for my frat brother who passed away, it's just looking at some of those t-shirt designs that I did just brings back so many emotions. Even just looking at like the precursor of like Smiley Outfitters and the precursors for Say It Loud, which you guys can get, is in the description box below, really brings me back and humbles me and says, man, you started from somewhere, but now you're here. 32,000 you guys, and I want to appreciate you guys. I haven't even did that video yet. I hit 30,000 like a few weeks ago, and I started uploading every day. And me doing that was my way of showing you that you can't just give up. You can't give up. You have to do it. Like I said, I had a family member who told me that I would never get past 5,000. Matter of fact, I think he said I'll never get past 1,000 or 100. I can't remember. I can't remember because he was a hater. You know what I'm saying? But look at me now. Smiley Outfitter is like doing his best now. You know what I'm saying? I started from the bottom. Now I'm here. Shoot, I even had to teach myself Photoshop. And I didn't get that from anybody. I wasn't even a graphic design major. I was majoring in music of all things, you know? So stick to it, man. If you guys are graphic designers or if you guys are YouTubers or if you're just a business owner and you're just trying to get from where you are to another place, stick to it. Look past the haters. Sometimes money is stuff that you have to put in. You have to invest money. And if you don't want to invest money, then you need to start developing your skills. You know what I'm saying? I want to just say thank you. And I want to say thank you to you all for helping me get from where I'm from to where I'm at. And if you guys even want to still be here from past this video for years to come, I just so thankful that I'm here to do this for you guys and give you the value that you guys want. I'm just thankful. You know, I have my son coming in the next few months and I'm happy to just see that because I need him. You know what I'm saying? He's my reliability partner and he needs me because he's relying on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of stuff that I'm thankful for. But skills and family, which is you guys, the skills that I put out on YouTube, and the family, which is you guys, and the family that I'm developing. I'm just happy and thankful for it all. And I hope to see more of you guys coming through. So if this video was anything for you guys, if this video did anything for you guys, go ahead and bell and subscribe, you know. And I hope you guys are having a very amazing day, a very good Thanksgiving, you know, a very happy Thanksgiving. But with that being said, you guys, I have to get up out of here. So stay amazing, stay creative above all else, stay awesome.